um there's that there's no action soon enough in the first red flag. When the red flags begin to happen, it goes on too many years instead of the child being placed. So the child is not placed, and the mother's made to feel in some cases like she's unfit just because she says she don't want the situation, and that's
Right.
where the mistake happens for the child, and the child ends up getting injured. So, but then she might refuse to get a child to the dad.
Mhm.
Did he find out soon enough where an abortion was mentioned? Was that ever part of the situation early in the beginning?
Yeah.
It was. And so what happened? She said no, or she refused to get an abortion, or she don't believe in it.
She already had one.
By LJ.
Yep. I couldn't give no money to more than that.
I started a part to another narcissistic lady friend because that device overheated, y'all. And I'm here tonight. I'm doing this video in the black leather recliner chair with my salad, y'all. So please forgive me. So we're talking about the baby right now. Thank you so much for the 67. Jajan, thank you so much for that comment. So I just ended. Oh, thank you for coming back in. So please click a like. So I just got off the other live talking about the situation with the child. Yeah. So
Yeah,
does
Kenny had a nice visit.
huh?
Kenny had a nice visit.
Oh, look, Kenny visited his mother.
No, she visited him.
Oh, she came to his house.
Uh-huh.
Oh, how did that work out? She's not in a nursing home anymore, or they just did the transport.
She ready to move.
She is.
Uh-huh. Because I think Michael going back to Texas. And they want her because he's his, prodigy, power attorney or whatever like that.
Oh, sound like they want her to stay with Lil Kenny, huh?
No, she's going to Texas with Michael.
Oh, she is. Okay, sorry about that. So she's gonna go to. Oh, so they taking her with them. Oh, okay. So they just let him have a visit to see her before she goes.
Yeah, that's the little shuttle, greater.
Well, I had text Bradley about that, about letting Lil Kenny see his mom. So he sent me a text recently, and I ignored it. He talking about, did I do something wrong? Right, is what Bradley said. Lil Kenny brother, and so yeah, I guess I could text him now, huh? You are doing something wrong, not letting that boy see his mama. I ain't say nothing to him. I just ignored him. Like, you know what you doing wrong, because all those texts I sent him about why can't Lil Kenny see his mama, Bradley ignored them. Then text me months and months later, like we just cool. So yeah, that's good. Did he take photos and videos?
I forgot to ask. He said he fixed you want a fish, so he fixed a fish and chips together.
Oh, so they moving to Texas, huh? Well, yeah, a lot of people getting up out of here.
Like the Mexicans taking over.
Where?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of Mexicans here. I had a nice Hispanic man. He was very kind to me yesterday. You know, some of them are real nice. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of them are being made to leave because of ICE too.
Wow.
So ICE shipping the people of Haiti out. I'm not in agreement with it. That nobody's being shipped back to Europe though. I'm quite sure some people that ain't got their papers that's from Europe, right?
Mm.
You notice they just shipping people out that's melanated, that's Mexican or from Africa or Haiti. I mean, I wish I could turn on a video and see that some white people being shipped out. So it's all racially motivated. That's for sure. Because I know damn well everybody here from Europe ain't got their papers straight. They here illegally too, with fake IDs and all kind of stuff. Some of them motherfuckers that's working for ICE ain't got their papers. Don't think everybody that's a ICE representative or security or with that agency is all got their papers. They probably stealing the papers of the fucking people. Imagine somebody shipping you out of here, taking your papers, saying they you. Because some of them, let me tell you how I figured that out. I watched the ones where they say they got their papers. So some of them they arrest or legitimate here. But check this out. You're not walking around with your papers all day. Your papers are at the house. But they doing all kind of exploitation, pretty much. Thank you so much for the likes, y'all. I appreciate you. I'm speaking real truth here. I ain't watched one video yet where they're shipping people back to Europe. This is the real truth. Pay attention to the cases. And it's just the beginning. Pretty soon they're going to be taking my device and saying I got to go too. And I was born and raised here from slave ancestry. Watch. We next. They're going to be saying you got to get your black ass off YouTube. You got to go too. They eventually going to figure out how to get you out of here with you being born and raised here. Watch what I tell you. That's why you might want to stop calling yourself African American. Just say you black. Say you Negro. Be careful with calling yourself African American and you never been to no damn Africa. Because then they're gonna say, okay, all the other African Americans you gotta go too. All the other Hispanic Americans or Mexican Americans, you gotta go too. They want this to be an all-white country. That's what it is. Yeah, Angel. Yeah. So, yeah, it'll work out, but she should take the baby to the doctor. But if the child was okay, if she did have a child in the seat, so okay, the seat rolled over with the child locked in the seat? Or did
I don't
yeah, so if the child was locked in the seat still when it went, it's some protection or barrier there. But if the child flew out of the seat because she didn't buckle her down in the second part of it, then that's definitely a hospital visit because the child came up out the seat and
right.
didn't stay pinned down. But yeah,
That's what he said.
that the child flew out the seat part
Mm-hmm.
or not with the seat. It all sounds suspicious to me. I'm like Unique. Sound like some foul play.
And what you do is about that.
LJ got his own place.
No.
Who he stay with?
He stayed with his cousin, and they, you know, how kids are. They all get together and get, you know, rent a home. They got a 5-bedroom home, $3,600 a month.
So it can the Lila stay there?
No, he said they got dogs and they smoke. They smoke. They all smoke and they work. And he said that's not no environment for a baby. I said, well, the dogs ain't gonna be in your room, and you don't smoke when you in your room. And she come over there, you wipe down, you clean like you know fresh, and you just go outside and smoke when you gotta smoke when you got her. You know, don't use that as no excuse.
Yeah, that still can affect the baby though. It's still because that smoke be absorbed in the clothes and stuff.
I told him that when she was born, and he had her on his, you know, patting on, burping her and stuff, and I told him to get the baby cloth and throw it over his shoulder, and then put her face and lay her face on that, not on his shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's new. I was right there telling him all kinds of stuff, telling him, you know, she already got 2 babies, so I'm telling him this is his first baby. He don't know these things. I mean, he's not illiterate. I mean, father's instinct and automatically know. But, you know, the little mother techniques and stuff like that. And he was like, I'm like, what's wrong with you one day? And he was like, man, it ain't the same. It's just not what I thought it was going to be. You know, having the first baby, I thought that me and the mother would be, you know, and on everything going on, you know, just everything focused on the baby and when she smiled first and, you know, little stuff like that. And he said she's so caught up in her worried about this and thought about that and going through my phone and blah, 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 and all that childish ass shit. You got too many kids to be doing all that childish ass motherfucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
What you gonna do when you're up? And he said the oldest one starting to act just like her. I say, see, you know, she quiet as a mouse though. She quiet as a mouse when LJ over there. He said he ain't doing it no more. No, he's not accommodating her feelings, and he don't feel that way about her. He's not going to accommodate her feelings because, you know, basically that is leading her on. So we already explained to her why he is like he is that because he was brought up that way. Like I said, he go over here, he come over here, he go over Gladys' house, and she got kids, and he's with his auntie Gladys. The kids gonna get attached to him. He gonna clean. He gonna wipe down. He gonna do little stuff with the kids. You know, his auntie in the present like that. And that's all he was doing, you know, with her. You know, she took it and ran with it like, you know, this is it. This is going to be, you know, she told me, I ain't never had nobody to do stuff like that. Never have nobody around my kid, my girls. I say, you open to go out and do whatever, y'all not this, that, and the other. She was like, I would never have another man over here around my kid. LJ is the only one.
Well, when he's in the...
I miss him. And I said, well, the girl and the boy working. What you think? You gonna have free baby? Babies ain't free. They need stuff. And stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to let him use my car so he ain't got to have money for no Uber and this and that. And all
Thank
that
you for the like,
stuff.
y'all.
And he said, yeah, he fills her car up. And one time the tire or something, he got that fixed, you know. And you know, he said, but I'm not gonna pay her bills and her light bills and the bills and stuff that she was maintaining before Lila got there. So just don't even come with all this sob story thinking that all the family gonna get together and pay your shit.
Well, yeah, but y'all should. Lila stay there, right? You claiming, now you're contradicting yourself. First you said y'all pay all her bills and she don't pay none for the baby. But
I said we bought everything for the baby.
But the baby need more than clothes. So now we talking about the light bill. So why does your son feel like he don't have to help pay the light bill where his own daughter live?
Because there was no light bill to be paid.
Would she have a light bill?
Well, why can't she just say, hey, being that I have Lila, you know what I'm saying?
Why does she have to beg for the child to be provided for?
Begging nobody. The girl caked up. He said she got she got about 8 stacks in her savings.
Well, what it sounds like she needs to do, what it sounds like, this is...
I think it should be a cordial conversation, and it should be a counseling or somebody.
She should file child support against your son. She should file child support because...
He told her to do that from the baby was born. He told her to do that.
Yeah, that's what she should do. Because he
told her to do that.
Yeah, he rather do it.
Child support. He said, because you going to come out on the short end because I do more for the baby on my own with my own.
Well, not if he's not going to pay the light bill. If he's not going to pay the light bill where the baby stay, he ain't doing much.
Things she been doing, unless she can get herself together and act like a woman and sit down and say, will you be able to help and assist in these areas instead of picking.
He already said he ain't doing it. You said your son said that it was being paid when she had her other 2 kids.
Be turned off in 3 days, you know, and just strew it on everybody like that. Because I was gonna pay.
Well, she should pay it on her own. She should go get help.
She don't pay but $130 a month rent.
Yeah, so she letting
$1,000 worth for food stamps, and she getting a tandem check for each one of the children.
And it's how many? 3 now.
That's right.
Yeah, so she's not budgeting right.
Oh, okay. Right. LJ pays $600-700 a month rent. Where he live at.
This poor child. This is...
She got 2 more children, 2 more baby daddies. They don't do a motherfucking thing.
Yeah, and that all builds up. This child should have been put up for adoption.
For what reason?
It's unfair. It's the child can be put up for adoption with a family member.
Oh, okay, there you go. But
yeah, I'm not talking about with no stranger. It don't have to go to a stranger.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm talking about put up for adoption because.
We already made that to ask her that too.
Yeah, because the mother don't want to take care of the child, and the father is unable and has no place for the child to go as of right now. So she don't want to keep the child.
He said he'll get a hotel room for his visits if he have to.
Yeah, but he don't have that now. The place where he's staying, the child can't go.
Yes, she could.
Well, he's saying she can't because he don't feel.
He don't want her to because, you know, they all in a different area of the house. I don't think that the baby will be affected. I smoke cigarettes and weed and stuff like that all around in my my kids are fine. My kids are became healthy. They were fine. They try to CPS try to come to us because Tal had RSV.
Oh yeah, he'll get that, but you can get that without being around smoke too.
Because we had a fireplace. Oh, really? Well, how the ancestors came up with wood burning stoves and all that kind of stuff like that? He said, okay, if we have a look. I said, sure you can. We just came from the doctor's office. She said, where does the baby sleep? I said, back here. She said, oh, this is so nice. I said, thank you. I said, I enjoyed every minute of doing it. Decorating too, you know. So then I had backyardigans and Winnie the Pooh stuff, stickers on the wall, everything. Light up stuff and everything.
And none of that stuff matters, y'all, when there's secondhand smoke around, right? You can have all the
keeps it clean.
You can have all the Winnie the Pooh stuff you want. What the child needs is a smoke-free environment. Okay. I'm not gonna comment on that though.
Stuff in there like that. You know, we sit by a nice, cozy, warm fire. What harm is that for a baby? It ain't like when it start off in the smoky and stuff like that. I mean, you know, just take little teeny stuff and just make it look like people are just downright just grade you know. And then when she came, oh, this is not, yeah, but what you heard, that caused you to come here and do an investigation by word of mouth from what you heard. I'm not even from around this city. No, nobody here know me to even speak on what's going on the inside of my home. She said, well, I want to get, I'm being part of this investigation is because of the way it was reported, we're going to need you to come down and give a urine sample. I say, a urine sample? Now what you trying to say? You just said everything was nice and suitable home for the baby. Now what you trying to say? And stuff. So when I went to the office and stuff, I was like, go ahead on. I'll be down there. You know, I want to spend time with my baby now. I'm done with y'all.
A urine sample to check for what?
Huh?
What they want? What did they need a urine sample from you for?
I'm trying to get to that part. So when we got down there, when I went down there to the appointment, she came and she said, I waited so long for them to call me. She said, I was dressed all nice and everything. She said, I said, where is all of this coming from? And I told her my situation, how we had just moved there, and it was just within a year or so that I had a baby with him, and blah blah blah. So I don't socialize. So you know, this is just, I'm just up in the air on this. I couldn't sleep. I'm just beating myself in the head, like, where would this have come from? Mm-hmm. You know, trying to replay everything. Did I say something to somebody or something didn't remember, or you know, whatever. She said, you can't think of nobody that would want to do this to you or to y'all, file this kind of report and stuff like that. And I was like, no, not at all. None at all, period. None at all. She said, Miss Wilson, if I tell you this, you know I could lose my job. I said, I said, I want you to have your job, you know, but I want to be clear on this. You know, I don't want to live and looking over my head because I don't know who it is that's making a report against me for my child, my baby. She said, it's his family. I said, get out of here. Yep.
Which is LJ family?
Or no, Tal, my baby boy.
The baby boy, okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. That was the first time I seen my boyfriend cry. It hurt him so bad. Mm-hmm.
And so what was the family saying? What was the report? Cause I don't know.
That he was violent toward me, and that he was a smoker, and he wasn't working, and all the little stuff like little stuff like that. But she knew the judge. She had already talked to him. I think they went to the same church. Like I said, she's a minister as well. So she probably had a talk with him over the phone or a cup of coffee and something, and saying, "I want my grandbaby." And I didn't know then that I could have said that it was what is a conflict of interest,
Mm-hmm.
being that she works for the state, and everybody was all high and saying what they was gonna say and stuff like that in the courtroom. Like, Lord, have mercy. And Ty was well taken care of. We was taken care of. Ty was very well taken care of. Mm-hmm.
Well, it also sounds like they're trying to protect you as well, because the report is really about the baby daddy, not your parenting.
Right.
So it sounds like they didn't like who he was, the baby daddy.
Well, basically, yes, and that he was messing with an older woman and stuff like that, and had a baby with him and stuff like that, and so, and pushing her power,
Mm-hmm.
pushing her power, because she, every time we went over for dinner or whatever stuff, when she got custody, we would go to church every Sunday, every holiday, and weekends, swap, we take them. We have
This
them
is
on
some
the
messy
weekends
stuff to
and
be going on.
stuff like
And
that.
all these people, or some of these people, are in church, y'all.
They come get them Sunday night,
Church people have messy lives
drop
too,
them
y'all.
off Friday after work, and we keep them until Sunday, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Lord have mercy. Yeah.
Thank you for enjoying the phone chronicle, y'all.
Some ass then. So then I roll right over in the bed. My baby gone,
Also, the calls worked. So
She walked out of the courtroom with that baby.
who did?
His mother.
Oh, so they made the calls, went to court, and they system worked.
Yeah, it was already ready, premeditated.
Oh, okay. Oh, because they knew the judge too.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was rigged.
Yep.
Now, how's his life now, the baby boy?
He's a raver.
What's that?
Like to go to them rave concerts, and he smoked weed and
Mm-hmm.
driving around in a Beamer. They done bought him and $4,000 camera, and he working. Who he working with? I think is he at Amazon? I think he working at Amazon and DoorDashing.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like to go to parties and stay out all night late and all that, and grandma don't play that.
How old is he now? Around how old is he now?
19.
Oh, yeah, that's the teenager.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's a teenager. He's see where they live at. Only people that live in that neighborhood are people that work for the state.
Right.
That's the only people that live in those homes where he's raised. They
Now,
all
do
work
y'all
for the state.
talk at all?
Who?
You and the baby boy.
No.
So that's why they did it too, so y'all won't have a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So it's yeah, that's the traditional situation with that custody stuff.
I could not bear her living in the same state like that, and her raising our child. And they're not even 20 minutes away from where we live. Yeah, we lived in the hood. And I don't want it brought in the hood. She came over there with her little PO jacket on and her company's car, and she came over there and she had this big photo album with a satin bow around it. Open it up, and she say, "This is the daycare that he's going to be going to." She say, "This is one under where all the doctors and lawyers take their children." That was a little too expensive. Me and Will, that's her husband, we couldn't afford that one, you know. But he is in a good school. He was in Marguerite Christian Academy. That's where he was, you know. As soon as he started to go to the bathroom by himself, he was going to school. Yeah.
So in some of these circumstances, y'all,
yes, you know,
y'all want to begin to look at it a little different. Whether she realized it or not, Miss Angel could have been saved by the bell, right? At the end of the day, she did have drug abuse history and was mostly in prison, right? So her youngest son, baby daddy family, which they had some positions of power, went ahead and took her son off her hand. And sometimes that's the reason why your son or daughter is still alive. It really is. But also there's an element that they do it so that, yeah, I know what you mean.
Right. I knew he would go. He would have nowhere else to go. He would go back home. So then he'd be there with Ty. Then he left Ty, met another woman, got her pregnant, went there with her. So he still left Ty and still talking about somebody, I abandoned my son. I mean, I abandoned him.
Well, you didn't abandon him. They took him in custody. They took him from the court, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is he talking about because you moved out of town after they took custody? Because, I mean, you can go wherever you want to now. They got custody.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can't take custody because now you done freed me up. Since you done took my child, I'm freed up now.
And so I was on probation at the time. So I was going to the same district office that his mother worked at, but I did not have her as my PO, you know. But her colleague that was my PO, after that happened, I went in for my business. She said, she was writing for a long time. Then she found it. She said, well, Miss Wilson, I'm just going to have to say this off the record. That's the worst thing that she could have ever did to you was to take that child from you. She said, so now what you going to do? Going back, resort back to your old ways? I said, what make you say that? Just because I lost my son don't mean I want to go to back to the penitentiary.
And you didn't go back, right?
Sure didn't.
Yeah. Well, she's telling you don't do that. That's what she's telling, because she know that can bring stress and depression and sadness.
Well, we did, just to keep my mind, keep me from crying all the time. And the most happy, outgoing person, and I'm just don't want to be bothered no more, you know, and stuff like that. And we had party. Oh, we threw a party every night. Sure did. Just to keep our mind there. All our friends knew too. Yeah.
The partying would have been going on regardless, y'all.
So
and this is why the child may need to not be there. So you ain't partying just because the child gone. Eventually the partying gonna be going on when the child is there, and that's when it becomes unfit, you know.
You got the spatula and stuff like that. They done went and got a little grill. When I come back, they done got.
I think when they took custody of the child, they spared the child from something else happening.
Stuff like that. See, the hood was good to me. I don't care what nobody say. I live the best of both worlds. Yep. That would have been just fine. It ain't where you live, it's how you live. And when your child represents your home when they go to school, And the teachers, and they see people and the teachers and stuff, see how the child act. Oh, he was raised real good. Yeah, man, this not disrespectful, blah, blah, blah. And they go up in there cussing and this and that and other. Where they get it from? The home. Shoot.
Not always. Now they getting it from Instagram, TV.
Yeah, well, it wasn't none of that back then.
And they get it from school too. Because a lot of that cussing they learn at school. Because see, your child, huh?
They learn it at school. School don't teach that.
Yes, they do. They learn it at school because of them other kids on the playground. I had to learn that when I was raising my boys.
School don't teach that. It comes from the other children.
They still learning it at the school because those kids are at school. The kids, when you send a child to school in the United States, is no different than sending them to the penitentiary. School is just another jail where they learn a lot of toxic stuff.
Oh, well, I won't like that for me coming in school.
Yeah, so I'm talking about these schools now.
Right.
Yeah, what they doing now.
I thought I was at the airport when I went in school. I said, hey, you got to go through the censor and everything.
There's always abuse that go on in school.
Oh, your arms up, spin around. like, dang. All this just to go to school now? Went back to my elementary school. I was like, wow.
A lot of people, kids go to school and get killed at school.
I can't believe that. This is where I went to school at. Now look at
even a lot of the private schools, y'all, are quite toxic. They got drugs and all kind of stuff even running through the private schools. So even a lot of the private school parents are not as protected or feel like their kids are as protected. So you got to watch what private school your child goes to. That's why a lot of people just do online school now. They don't even want their kids in public school at all.
God Almighty.
Thank you for enjoying the Phone Chronicle, y'all.
That's what Ty got corrupt at in school.
That's what I'm saying. That's where they learn all this toxic stuff. That's where the bullies are at. They're at school.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are assaulted at school and all kind of stuff. So, you talked to Ty at least one time, right?
Well, I talked to him a couple times. When he called and asked for some money.
Oh, okay. So he's like that.
Mm-hmm.
He just want to be a user.
Like his daddy. I told him, I said, please don't be like your daddy. I said, you know how he is, don't you? He was like, yeah, I know. I said, oh, okay, don't you get caught up.
Well, he got it.
They was all riding together one time. They had me on the video. So Monte, that's my big daddy. Monte gonna get out the car to me. It's your turn to buy the snack. I said, no, it ain't his turn to buy no snack. You picking him up and taking him and your little son out for the day shopping and this and that. No, he ain't got to come out his pocket with nothing. It ain't no his turn. Let him keep his little bit of money. You pay for that shit, your greedy ass. Cuss his ass out all the time. I don't know why he called me bro. What's wrong with your son? Oh, when he acting like that, then it's my son.
My grandmother used to do that with my mama. If she didn't like something my mama was doing, it's your mama, your mother. They do that. Like you the only relative to them.
I ain't got nothing to do with him when he acting like that. I said, boy, if you don't get out my face, that boy ain't gonna have daddy to grow up and see. You don't get out my face. I'm telling you that name. Chapo thought I was playing till I left and never came back. Never came back. I had 200 and some missed calls from his ass.
Oh, you had 200 missed calls, Miss Angel. You said 200 and wait.
Some on the government phone.
200 and some missed calls.
Yep.
Well,
I had that lady in that hotel told me. That lady in the hotel, I kept on looking at my phone. I had a job at a hotel. Kept looking at my phone and stuff like that. She said, "You're not supposed to have your phone while you working, talk on the phone and stuff, unless the date if you got a business call, you got it through, and you let the manager know and stuff like that." So I was like, this lady was talking on her phone. So I was talking to her and went in the room. I said, "How you get to talk on your phone and stuff like that?" She was like, "That's just my ex-boyfriend." I left him, and I just they had some business they had to take care of. I said, "You left him?" And then she told me her story. And she told me what she was going through. And she said one day when he came home from work, he just left. She was gone. She said, and I did not answer none of his calls. She said, I knew it would take him about 6 months or so to leave me alone to get it through his thick head, and stuff like that. She said, but eventually they will move on. I was like, Lord have mercy, Jesus. I'm gonna have to do it.
Yeah, that's true what she's saying too. Because eventually they gotta find another sucker. You gotta find somebody else to abuse.
Yep. And I told them, I say, ain't none of these young girls out here like you talking about gonna treat you like how I have in my family. Nope. And call me crying. Call me a plenty nights from that girl house crying.
What would he be crying about? She was cussing him out and stuff.
What he be crying about? The food they eat. They didn't eat pork. And they didn't this and that. They missed my cooking. And I'm cooking dinner tonight. I don't know how you make that gravy. And they get sick and call me.
So he was crying about his blessing, y'all.
What you doing?
Because it's a blessing to stop eating pork. It is. You don't need pork.
She boring as fuck. I say, well.
He said she boring. And when he was with you, he was calling somebody else talking about you. They do that with everybody they with. So what he
called nobody talking about me.
Yes, he did. You just didn't know it. The same thing he's doing to her. Huh?
What do you mean by call somebody and talk about it?
Okay. A man like that, when he get with the next woman, and he's calling you complaining. When he got with you, he called his last woman complaining.
Oh, he ain't never had no last woman. He had a little young girl, about 19.
And he was calling her. They do the same thing.
She had nothing else to do with him. She saw his car at the mall one day. She found out that I was his girlfriend, and poured water all through his car and the soda or something and stuff like that. Oh yeah, she was hot. She don't had nothing else to do with his ass.
Any man that's talking about the last woman to another woman, right?
It wasn't the last woman. She was laying right there in the bed. He showed it to me on the camera. He said, there she goes, she's asleep.
Yeah, what I'm saying is he talked about you too. You just wasn't there to hear it. That's all I'm saying. Because
he had no reason to talk about me.
It's something that it's something. Yeah, and it's something he gonna be saying because she being good to him too, because she's stopping his ass from eating pork. So that ain't really a bad thing that he's off pork.
He's just a small fucking brat.
Yeah, so all those narcissistic men,
I would not have him back again for the sake of my child. I wouldn't do it. I'm like, Ty, you know.
All narcissistic men do that. I had to tell this one sister with even her own brother that she thought never talked about her. I stopped him from talking about her. I didn't listen to it anymore, but he did. He still talked about his own sister, the lady he called his sister. And so she really believed. I actually told her what earlier this year, in the last year, probably earlier this year, whenever we talked, I let her know that her brother had talked about her too. And she didn't believe it. And I said, I told her, stop gaslighting me. I did. I told her that. But she really believed that her brother had complained about all these other women, but never talked about her. And the reason he talked about her is she set up boundaries and she was not in approval of all his behavior. So whenever it's like a narcissistic man and a lady has had some words with them, and you know that man talk about other ladies to you, they talk about you to other ladies too. They sure do. And he called her a horrible name. I'll never forget the name. I won't say it here, but I was telling the truth when I let her know he had talked about her.
How can you take my son custody like that and you know for a fact that I am a decent woman and not just it's Christmas.
And what I'm saying in this matter, y'all, don't be so naive.
You talk to your mom, you call your mother.
Narcissistic men are that way.
You call your mother, tell her Happy Mother's Day.
Because she's saying her baby daddy, Miss Angel, old baby daddy, talked about the new woman to Miss Angel. He was doing the same thing when he got with Miss Angel. They're always talking about you behind your back.
Significance of reuniting with your family.
Because narcissistic men are ungrateful in general.
These people every day. How could you do this to somebody? You know. Why not say, how can I support you and my son in this situation?
The people, the family that took him in court.
Yeah, his family.
Oh, they're not those kind of people. They don't want to work with, it's better to do it that way, but that's not what it's better for the child if they can do it that way. But also when the child is being taken, the parent is being protected too. Because like you say, he's just a user, right?
Huh?
When the child is taken, you're being protected. I didn't never look at it like that, but I learned to look at it like that. When you see the result later, anybody that just call you,
I don't see that later.
Well, he just caused it.
I see how it was protecting me.
Well, he just caused you to hit you up for money, right?
When he got old enough,
yeah. So he's a user. So it is.
He learned that from his dad. His dad was telling him to do that. Call your mama. Call your mama and ask her for some money. He's doing that. He'd be in the background the whole time.
How old is he now? 19. He's 19, right? So what I would be careful of is blaming everything he do on his daddy. He's just they did you a favor. You'll see it later.
They didn't do me no favor. They didn't do me no favor by taking my child away from me like that. Not even giving me a chance.
The Lord allowed it, so the Lord doing you a favor too.
He allowed it. All I'm
Yeah.
saying is the film was for the child that's gonna live a better life than what I would be able to give him. But
He ain't really live a better life because he's not with his mother. I'm not saying it's better. What I'm saying is custody battles go deeper than what we'll ever know.
it won't no battle.
Where it is when it's court,
But
it's
it won't no battle.
well, I look at court like a battle because you got judges and it's a battlefield where you're trying to win your son.
I won't no trying, it won't no win-lose situation. It was already done. You will get that child when you bring them into court.
Right. It was already, like you said,
Right.
prearranged.
Exactly.
Either way, even if you would have had him, Angel, he was gonna be what he's gonna be.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, but he would have been a lot more different, a lot more wiser, a lot more. He would have been a lot more. He wouldn't be going to no raves.
well, if it's in his nature to be doing that, he's gonna find people to assist him in
It
doing
wouldn't have
that.
been in his nature. It wouldn't have been in his nature because we would have been doing stuff with him like that, other than stuff like that. Not saying that he may not have never went to one, but he wouldn't be obsessed with going to them.
Like he's
having to
addicted.
go. Right.
Well, people find they don't just do what their parents teach them; they do what other people, their peers. They go find friends. See, this he's a Gen X child. So with Gen X kids, they do what the world teach them too, what they see on Instagram and social media. Most Gen X kids are not listening to their parents. It's just rare. So he's a Gen X child and a Gen X son. So no matter what I've learned to do is be grateful for the bad times. So you can reverse that universe thing, right? Instead of looking at it bad, see the blessing in it. Be thankful they took them, and it's power in that. Because I'm looking at what he's doing right now. So you could see value in him because you his mother, right? But I
I'm
see.
not. I'm not gonna thank her. Thank you for taking my son from me. No, fuck that shit.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm
No, I'm not thanking you. I'm thankful for what you do for my child.
not thank
He's living
her.
a life.
Not
He's living
thank
a life.
her. I didn't say thank her. Thank the universe for the way it went down. Because at the end of the day, no matter whose son he is, he's a user and he has no value to you. He's not valuable to you like you think. And
He ain't better than me at all.
and then look at how
I
his
don't think he's valuable to me at all, period.
yeah, so I mean,
Because to me, he don't speak to me.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
LJ called and we stay on the phone. We've been on the phone for about 6 hours today. Sometimes we be on the phone, we don't even be saying nothing. He be doing what he doing, but you still there, Marty, yeah. My daughter called me, hey mommy. You know what I'm saying? That boy don't call me at all.
Yeah, and I suspect that Ty was gonna be that way, whether they took him or not. That's
Oh shit.
that's where the Lord is protecting you ahead of
In
time.
the world, if I was to have raised him, that he would be like that, don't want to speak to me. I'm not that type of mother. Oh, he would fuck with me. He like,
No, because they do. They go exchange. I got kids like that. You could be good to them and they still not talk to you. Angel. Yes, she's not understanding. She's
Yeah.
yeah, you could be good to someone and they still do you like that, Angel.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, that it ain't no you be good to them and it's always gonna turn out that way because we got like this channel Estranged and Rearranged, they talk about this issue all day long. See, this estranged child stuff, adult child, this is the norm. And it's happening to parents that was good to their child. So that's where
It's happening to them.
huh?
It's happening to them, the grandparents.
It's happening to everybody. So in some cases, the Lord will protect you ahead of time. See, the Lord already know how the child is going to be acting, right? So in some rare cases, the Lord just take it off your hand as a protection to you. So sometimes the child is taken because you were too good for the child. And how you will know that is the Lord will allow you to interact with them, right? And then let you see a taste of his nature. So what the Lord is showing you is he was going to be this way no matter what. That's why I didn't want you investing too much in the boy.
I ain't investing no.
Well, you didn't overinvest because they already rigged it at court. Right? So you didn't have to overinvest. So from my perspective, that's how I view it because I went through it. And when I didn't look at it that way, it harmed my life. But once I woke up to the game, because the Lord put it on my heart and told me that's why I did this. I was protecting you, Irene. So I was being protected the whole time.
Yeah, he was protecting me from his dad.
Yeah, and that's another reason. So yes, part of protecting you, part of protecting you from the daddy is removing it all from you.
My son said,
the Lord will remove the child too.
My son asked him, why?
Yeah, when you're universally being protected from a child's father, sometimes you'll lose custody of the child too, and vice versa. But it will be hard for a lot of people to understand what I'm saying because they put too much value on these children. They're just people that can screw you over later. That's it. Yeah.
Why you doing all this now for her? And I'm the one that talked Ty into liking his little brother. He just a little pudgy, little cute as he want to be. I said, "Oh, I want him, Monte. He just as cute." And he spent all his time with that boy and left Ty there with his grandparent.
And what's the age difference with the little brother?
Ty 19 and Sasai, he's like what, 5, 6 or 7? What? What in the world? This place is on a busy street.
See, Miss Angel, she's using emotional thinking instead of more logic, right? And Gen X kids, a lot of these kids, you can't put too much you can't put too much investment in them. And don't be too sad you lost them, for real.
2 days ago.
Logic over emotions, y'all. Once you improve that, you'll look at things a lot different. Her youngest son, Ty, that was taken from her, all he does is call and ask her for stuff. He's just a user. So she lost a user. A user does not love you. I got her on mute, y'all. But a user does not love you. They just want what you have and want what you're offering. That's it.
You could still be owed a huge check. No, seriously, I didn't go to the ER and still got paid $82,000, and all I had to...
Oh yeah, I be hearing that commercial too.
I ain't go either. 25,000.
Yeah, I cut it down. I don't want to get a copyright claim on that.
Welcome to Hot Topics, Sam. Nice to see you. How are you doing? Thank you so much. You know, I'm doing great. Realizing we were able to win this primary with 66% of the vote, we had more people who went to cast a ballot for us.
Now, what did I tell y'all in my other video
About where we are and the work
about narcissistic lady friends and the TV, y'all? I was just talking about this, about the freaking TV. Listen, come on now. I was just talking about this. Listen.
Yeah, well, a lot of folks have been asking you, Don, when are you going to get Just the Person on? We're trying. And the reason
look how loud Miss Angel got this TV.
He was supposed to be on yesterday. Well, guys, we're trying to get him on Friday. He's very busy on schedule.
I was just talking about another narcissistic lady friend, y'all, with the TV. Here's another one. I told you they all do the same similar stuff, y'all. Listen. Look how loud she got this TV.
Yes, we do.
Here now. So, sir, how do you feel about, first of all, your chances? I imagine you think your chances are good, right? Yeah. I mean, they read the map. They can this was a plus 22 Republican district, but Matt's different. People do. And what we are finding is people are energized, they're fired up, and they're wanting a different. The energy that people are responding to is really boldness and leadership, not leadership that takes corporate PAC money. Continue to follow this.
This is her loud TV, y'all. I was just talking about this in the videos. I told y'all I know what I be talking about. Another narcissistic lady friend. This is how they act.
We would not be doing the public, nor the family, nor even the teens a service.
Listen to how she got this TV so loud. I just cut it down. But it's their escape, y'all. It's their escape.
More of that interview with Noah Bellsprings. And I think
so. I'm gonna go over this issue with y'all.
There is a 0% chance anything wrong, right? Not 90%, not 99%, zero. Okay, he's the attorney, right? And most people would say, hey,
they're gonna let him get away with it, Angel.
There's no possible way that anyone could have unalived Nolan on Horn Island that day because the island was so crowded and exposed. And
that's a shame. That is a shame.
50 that afternoon, about an hour and a half after warning.
Angel, they gonna let them get away with it. It's Mississippi.
And that means that they weren't there. And that there was, and possibly had nothing to do with his demise. But anyway, that information we don't know for sure yet. If that is valid evidence, I think that matters enormously. So, who are the witnesses? Have investigators interviewed them? What exactly did they see? Where was Nolan? Was he alone? What corroborates the time? Now, the case maybe gave us an analysis of their timeline and what they believe happened, and we told them on the air. That's what they said. Now, and there's another thing about a fight that I'll get to that seems new, but may not be new.
This is another narcissistic lady friend. I told y'all they like their TV loud, y'all. Listen to it.
And he is using it to declare his clients completely innocent. So, for the basis of it, I don't think that that's unreasonable, right? To talk about it, I don't think it's unreasonable as well. He opened that door. Then there is all of this talk about harassment. The young men say that their lives have been turned upside down. A lot about
so she's Miss Angel's listening to the Nolan Wells case, right? So you got to remember this, y'all. The TV and listening to someone else's case especially like in situations like this, is kind of like an escape in some sense. Sometimes it's a healthy escape, but the problem with it is when we have not resolved our own issues, okay? And it's being used as an escape. Like I was just telling her with her youngest son, her 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 youngest son father family, which had judge connections and all of that, took custody of her youngest son when he was very, very young. But he grows up and he's just a user. That's the average Gen X child. If you have one that's not a user, you're very blessed. I have one that's not a user, but most of my children are just users. They just view their parents as a supply source. No one can hate you more than someone you gave birth to. No one can hate you more than someone you gave birth to. So, you know, people need to find something else to do. Something else to do. So, she's another narcissistic lady friend. Huh?
FTSU.
FTSU.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Where did how did he say it?
Let's start with retail. You get $25 to $300 in cash advances max. Feel free for no one. Download the app so you don't miss out.
FTSU, it says for freedom to well, it's freedom to speak up is a framework used primarily in healthcare to help workers raise concerns safely about anything that gets in the way of patient care or workplace safety. The goal is to build an open the goal is to build an open culture where staff feel heard and organizations learn from mistakes.
Describing being recognized in public and people asking you about something you said or did or appeared in is not harassment. That's called a person. That people are able to say, hey, are you the guy on the thing? And didn't you say this? You have every right to walk away.
So FTSU means freedom to speak up, y'all.
Not to get in your face and start pushing the phone and the camera in your face and all that. That's a whole different thing. Invading your personal space, that's a whole different thing. But someone saying, hey, young man, aren't you the guy that...
Fair use, y'all. Fair use.
Like that? You don't have to participate, man. You can just say, I'm not interested. Oh, you don't have to say anything. You just walk away. One of them described a woman recognizing him in a restaurant and showing him the earlier interview on her phone, one of his earlier interviews. They left, and then according to them, some friends who stayed behind were allegedly threatened. Okay? Some friends who stayed behind were allegedly threatened. So, but we were specifically asking about the people in the interview who said that they had been harassed. Another example involved a friend named Trayston, supposedly being denied a Gatorade and a Red Bull at a store. Now, Trayston is one of their...
Angel, is this the Nolan Wells case?
Yeah.
And they're
well, they're going to let them get away with it. That's what I see coming.
Were allegedly being
They let them do that to Emmett Till, too. The men got away with that, too.
Maybe harassment of their friends. It may be ugly behavior, but it's not the same thing as the three men sitting there.
Fair use, y'all. Fair use.
Against themselves. And when the interviewer kept asking for concrete examples, I kept waiting for one involving them directly. Now, that does not mean that threats have not happened, but they're in an interview and they're answering questions. They also said that they have received death threats online. Awful. And I don't doubt that they have. I don't know. It means that when they were asked for specific in-person examples involving themselves, much of what they described involved other people around them. That distinction really matters, especially because they have hired a defamation lawyer. That is supposedly one of the big reasons that this Edward Haltzik is now involved. And yet in this portion of the interview, Myself, personally, you can tell me because you're going to hear, I did not hear them identify a specific allegedly defamatory statement and explain. This person said this about us, it is false, and here is why. Instead, the lawyer talks broadly about lies, liars, hustlers, and profiteers. He says that people should retract what they have said before they get hauled into court. Okay. What statement? What exactly is false? What are you accusing people of? Because defamation is not simply people saying things that you do not like. It is not people asking questions you find uncomfortable.
I'm going to add this, y'all, while that plays in the background. So the thing is this. There will be one difference when you're dealing with another narcissistic lady friend, and it will be some areas where they may actually lack the meaning of certain things. So when I was talking to her about her losing her son in a custody situation, remember, I've gone through custody situations. Okay. So I have experience in this. So see, the thing, to get over something, you got to get off the focus of the human that you feel took the custody and put it in the universe. So like she said, she's not going to thank the woman that took her son from her. It's not about thanking the woman. It's about thanking the universe for allowing it to happen. Okay. Her youngest son is 19. He's a black male. He's least likely to be anything valuable to the universe and Miss Angel because of the high statistics of the black males. Okay. So some of them will prove us wrong. I have a son that's that way, Isaiah. And I do believe, considering the struggles that Elijah and Daniel have, they're probably, as black males, in some sense, trying the best that they know how. Okay. With a lot of black males, the disability is just going to be too great, y'all. And so no matter what you show some of them, it's going to be very challenging for them to go on the right side of the track and do what's right. And so that's the problem with another narcissistic lady friend and black women in general. I'll call them women in this essence, even though I don't prefer that word. They don't understand why universally things are happening. I believe she was in a great amount of protection. Actually, with her being an ex-addict, from my perspective, I'm not an ex-addict, but from my perspective, raising kids, if you're an addict, is causing you more stress because it's adding responsibility on you. I mean, in some cases, some parents may not use drugs because they're raising their kids, but those would be more parents that don't have the addiction to drug personality. So she won't ever understand. It will be hard for another narcissistic lady friend to be grateful for the bad that's happened because her and her son are still alive. At the end of the day, they took custody and her son is still alive. Maybe something was going to happen and her son would have died in her care due to the actions of someone that she could have been around. You just never know. We need to stop overvaluing our children and put more value in something much, much more spiritual that goes outside of the human realm. That's what I had to learn to do. And once I did that, I don't put any value. And then the thing is, when your kids grow up, because I have estranged children as well. The thing is, a lot of times, many of them die before you die. So some of them are not even going to live out their days. Okay. But at the end of the day, she's explaining her youngest son as a user, which is what he is. But the part that she's going to struggle with is understanding that he was going to be that way no matter what. So the Lord saved her from putting all that work into him. Trust me, if she would be in my situation where she would actually have put in the work, time, and effort and money into her children, the way I did with Elijah and Daniel, and then they come out and become drug abusers, you almost wish someone had took them off your hand. Because that's what they're going to be no matter what. And she's in great denial. She says he's a party animal. She says she used to run the streets and run wild and use drugs, and she couldn't stop doing it. She told me that herself, that she was a street runner. She couldn't stop. No matter what the court order would say, she would leave court or jail and go right back out there, breaking those court orders. So some of that behavior her son gets from her as well. Even if most of it he could be getting from his father, some of it came from him. From her. But she's saying that she had changed her lifestyle, and if she would have had custody of him, he would be better. I don't think so. I know that that's not how it would have went. I think Miss Angel should learn to be more grateful for her freedom of being out of incarceration and not having all these kids using her. Who needs an extra person using them? Nobody needs that. It's just taken from her finances. Like she said, her youngest son just calls her and asks her for money. You can raise them and they come out the same way. Daniel does it to me. They're the same, right? They're the same. It don't matter whether you raise them or not. It's a Gen X. It's a Gen X child. And the influence over a Gen X child is not their parent and what the parent's teaching them. A Gen X child, they mind work with what they want to do. It's a age. The Gen X children, some of them have better parents and more supportive parents, but they're just naturally cruel. They're just naturally cruel. I'll be doing another video about a situation I watched on these videos not too long ago with the gentleman, where I knew the gentleman when the mother was pregnant with this boy. And I'll do a separate video about that. But I ended up watching this video of how it's turning out right now. And it's a Gen X child. See, the thing is, this was a gentleman that decided to provide and take care of a child that he was not sure if it was his at first. He thought the boy was his. Later in the years, he found out the boy was not his. He eventually found that out, right? And he continued to raise the child. But I saw a video of the outcome. Now, from what I see, the gentleman's kind of like backing off the boy now, right? But Gen X children, you want to be very careful with supporting and helping them. It's not a good crop of children, very demonic-based children. It's very little that the parents and other elders will be able to do. And they are children that are followers of the devil. They follow the devil. So they are followers of the devil. If you want to consider there's a devil. There's something when you got Gen X children. Now, some of them will turn out okay, but most of them will not. And they already got every red flag that you need to know about a Gen X child. Miss Angel can escape in the TV all she wants to, but I told her the truth. I never told her to thank the lady that took her son. That wasn't what I was saying. I was telling her universally. See, the lady that took her son does not have more power than the Lord. So the Lord still has to allow it. Okay. And Miss Angel allows it too when she has a son, her youngest son, not LJ, her youngest son, Ty, I think his name is, when she has her youngest son by that particular man. So, see, when you choose that type of father for your son or daughter, there's consequences because that child comes with family members. So, those family members, some of them had judges' connections, they decided to take her youngest son. And some of the reasons would involve, I mean, you can take a child because you know that the mother has prior drug history. You don't think she should have the child because you feel like she's going to relapse. One of the reasons they started calling Child Protective Services is because her son's father, the youngest son's father, was abusive. That's very bad to raise a child with their abusive father in the house. It puts the child at risk of more death or the child seeing a death, being seriously injured. Childs that live in domestic violence households now, they're getting killed left and right of all races of children. That's happening. So she's another narcissistic lady friend. So she's not an empath. So she will struggle in that area to eventually thank the universe. See, I'm going to be more grateful. You could come kill my dog. Go ahead. I don't have a dog, but I have an animal. If you come and kill my pit bull, I may cry for some years. I may be upset about it for some years, but eventually I'm going to get to the point to say this. Maybe the Lord knew that pit bull was going to maul me to death in 5 years. See, when things are removed from you, it's for a reason. It's for a reason. Just like my little sister was saying in one of the lives we just did, my sister, we did the conversation because she said I left my grandmother when she was down, which is not what happened. I escaped my grandmother, but it's meant to happen that way. It's more spiritual than you ever think. My grandmother's being protected, my little sister's being protected, and so am I. But another narcissistic lady friend, they will struggle to be grateful. So, Jajan Macapanas, again, I got my magnifying glass so I can read it. Such a beautiful name. Jajan Macapanas says 67. Okay, okay, we listening. Or Jajan Macapanas. Yeah. So thank you so much for the chats and the comments. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, so just some insight there on how to help y'all look at things too. Stop being mad about stuff that's old news that's been removed, even if it's people, and pay more attention to the type of person they really are. And you want to start being more happy that these people are out of your life. A lot of estranged kids, it's a curse, y'all. It's cursed kids. And a lot of times, who gets the blunt of the curse is the actual parents. Be glad they're gone. They're not your Lord. Remember in the beginning, I said in Buddhism, they teach attachment is the root of all misery. See, she creating depression for herself. That's why she gonna struggle with depression, Miss Angel. She never gonna get off weed and all cigarettes and liquor and drugs until she thanks the universe for the bad that happened to her, because it ain't really bad, it's good. Her son's a fucking user. Now, I don't consider Miss Angel a user. She is a very giving person. I'm just going to be quite frank with that. Miss Angel has asked me and offered to help me so many times. When she asks you out, she's always saying she'll pay for it. She's not a user like that. I'll give her that. You know, everybody got some good in their personality. So she's not a user. I will honestly say that. If she was, we definitely wouldn't be as cool as we are. But she has to begin. If she wants to remove her marijuana addiction, alcohol, cigarette addiction, all those addictions, she's going to have a hard time removing those as long as she believes that, you know, somebody took something from her. And as long as she continues to put so much value, if I would have done that and continued to do that, I probably would have been at risk of becoming an addict. So developing this mindset will prevent you from becoming an addict. And if you are an addict, you can get off substances. And with estranged children, you got to stop blaming their behavior of them being 19, 20 and older on who raised them. That got to stop too. Because you'll keep feeling sorry for them and they'll keep using you. They are human beings and they were designed and designated and they have a nature to them. They have a nature to them that was going to come out no matter who freaking raised them. If I go out in the jungle and I go get a lion or a bear or whatever, some gorilla that's hanging out there, I could go find a baby lion, a baby gorilla. And actually, one of the safest animals to get potentially when they're a baby is a lion. Africans have them as pets, but the thing when you keep a lion pet, he can be easily coerced to believe he's almost like a human, he or she, especially the male. But he can never meet another lion or another animal. So if you're going to bring a lion in your place, the lion can almost be okay with never attacking if he does not know what he is. In the way a lion can be manipulated like that is he's never allowed to be around anyone that's on all fours. So he can't meet a dog. He can't meet a lion. I've watched videos where they have big old male lions as pets. I'm not sure that the female lion, the lioness, is so easily manipulated because of the maternal instinct of a female lion. But with a male lion, if because of the natural intellectual disability, developmental delay, and potential retardations that a lot of males will have statistically over females, yes, I studied this, y'all, within the past 2 weeks. More males are more likely to have retardations, developmental delays, and stuff like that. That's why they're always advertising that they're smarter than us. They usually will have more developmental delay, intellectual disability, and retardations, or what I would call tardations. So if you take a male lion and you get him as a very, very young cub, you got to almost get him when he's born. Okay. The day he's born, you take him. He don't need to be under his mother, his lioness mother, too long. But if you take that lion and you raise him from the time he's a cub, that lion, that male lion, can almost be safer than a pit bull, to be honest. But the exception is the lion can never meet anyone that's on all fours. Okay, he can never meet another animal that's on all fours. And that's going to be hard to do. Because even if you walk him outside, he's going to see other people being walked. And then, you know, in America, you're not allowed to walk your lion pet outside. So you would need to raise them like in the country or something. But that's the only way it would work. And I figured this out through watching the pet videos where the African men have the big lions as pets. They always get a male, and they do not allow the male lion around other lions. And so the lion, the male lion, acts just like one of their homeboys in the house. They actually have no fear that that lion is going to attack, and they don't abuse the lion. The lion be laying around in the living room and everything, y'all, with the African men. And they're not eating them up alive like our pit bulls are here in America. Okay. The big male lion laying across the living room like this, like that's his house too. But in that case, that lion has been removed from all other lions. And I never see them have a lioness there. I don't think that the lioness, from my perspective, because of the maternal instincts of the lioness, I've been watching animal videos for years. I became more interested in the animal world through my son Isaiah. When Isaiah was in grade school and middle school, he always would bring home the books on the animals. So I began to read them, and I became very interested in the animal world through Isaiah. Isaiah was the one who taught me that there's a such thing as a liger. I didn't know that tigers and lions mixed. When Isaiah was like, "Yeah, there's ligers," I'm like, "You a lie, boy." I was real ignorant to the animal world. So Isaiah, my oldest son Isaiah, is the one that taught me that. I wish we had some of those books. We ended up, there was this storage that destroyed our things against our will. They were supposed to hold our personals for like 6 months. So we lost a lot of our books and stuff that we had on the animals. So I'm sad about that. But we can buy some more, you know, we can go buy some more. But a lot of our personals, those books, like I could go open those books right now if I had them. And I could read some of that right here on this live. But those books are gone, unfortunately. And Isaiah had a really nice volume and set of the animal books. And we would look through the books together just to have fun, right? And I miss those books. But that storage, we did take a loss there. That storage demolished our things. And we were within the law. They were supposed to hold our personals for 6 months. They only held it for about 2 months. I was very sad, y'all. So anyway, so Miss Angel, she's still on this TV. This is how she blocks knowledge.
These are just people that are seeking the truth, in particular the family of all of us. And he is demonizing them for doing so instead of acknowledging
Another narcissistic lady friend with the TV.
And if you're going to tell us there are all those people there and definitely would have seen a murder, then they definitely would have also seen an accidental crime. That definitely would have seen some kidneys. So why is one thing true?
Yeah, but these tactics work, and it's helped to save my life. Is understanding that it's much more than a person that's just taking something from you. And when you get a chance to interact with a person that was removed from you, and you find out that they're cruel, they're violent, they're a user, that's when you got to go back to the universe or your dear Lord and say, thank you. The Lord is your protector. The Lord is not really taking anything from you that's truly good. Not like you think. So let the devil have them. The Lord love you. If it's so good and it's so good and you're good, he would have left it with you. So everyone's being protected. Be grateful. That's my ultimate journey with even exchange children. And I just love it. The more they can go exchange, the more it's okay with me. Unless you have a really kind-hearted son or daughter. Now, don't wish that your kind-hearted ones leave your side. Like I have one Isaiah, he tries his best. You know, it would hurt me if he just decided not to talk to me no more. But even if Isaiah did it, hey, he's now showing his nature, right? But it's just not his nature. You know, sometimes what they call that another one bites the dust. Sometimes you got a good one in there. You really do. But it's rare. Understand how rare it is to find the best of people. But the better you are, the better these good people will be sent your way. The Lord gave you a life, and it's not for you to be depressed, smoked out, dranked out. It's not for you to be living your life like that. So you got to be more grateful. So Miss Angel, I'll call you right back. Okay. Miss Angel, I'll call you right back. Okay, bye. And try not to hang up on people, right? I could have hung up because she tuned me out and she was on her TV. That's fine, but don't do that. You know, you got to be careful giving excellent advice and then showing rudeness yourself. So it's okay. Just say, and sometimes her and I'll do that. I'll cut on videos and stuff and stuff like that. So Heaven and Hell, y'all. I love this Heaven and Hell song from the audio YouTube library. It is now 2:14 a.m., y'all. 2:14 a.m. It's 2:14 a.m. So it should be what, a Friday now? Thank you so much for the likes, y'all. Tune in for more right here with the Advanced Insight channel. Don't forget to like. Like I told y'all, we want to be guiding more towards heaven. Logic over emotional thinking. You can't ever be thankful for what the universe did to you until you start using more logic too. Those emotions will get you every single time because it will blind you from understanding what you really need to know. It will surely blind you. And we don't want to be blinded to things. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in for more right here. Tune in for more right here, y'all. I love y'all so much. Hopefully you enjoy the music from the YouTube audio library, y'all. It's the best. And you don't get a copyright claim, y'all. You do not get a copyright claim at all. Fair use, y'all. Maybe I should play a little HD tutor, since someone came back in here. Let me see. Fair use, y'all. The emptiness within them. Let's see what HD tutor has to say.
The emptiness within the narcissist. When you're one of our victims.
Fair use, y'all. Fair use, y'all.
The emptiness within the narcissist. When you're one of our victims, to put it mildly, it's a pretty shitty deal for you. Yes, you get all of the exciting golden period, unless you have the misfortune to have a bronze period. And during that golden period, if you've experienced the love bombing, you get all of the exciting stuff, the great sex, being taken out to wonderful places, being told how wonderful you are, you're supported, cherished, poetry's read to you, you're caressed, kissed, hugged, all of the things that cause your love devotee trait to flare up, your empathic traits to go into overdrive. And of course, as you know, all of that is entirely manufactured. It is fabricated as part of the illusion to draw you in, because we have to do that. We have to create something that's shiny, exciting, and beautiful, and warm, and delicious, and enticing, and tasty, and exhilarating, and amazing, to draw you in under our control, to ensure that you do indeed become ours.
Pay attention to that word control, y'all. HG Tudor knows what he's talking about. He's a narcissistic psychopath diagnosed. And if you listen to him, he can lead you on a great journey of freedom and understanding that will remove depression, because he will give you a realistic perspective of how people really are. People everywhere, not just in Britain where he's at, or in the UK. He's in the United Kingdom, but no matter where you live, narcissism is everywhere. And HG Tudor, listen to him, y'all. He will definitely guide you on the right road, especially when it comes to controlling emotional thinking. Please like, share, and subscribe, and fair use, y'all. Fair use.
Or that you do indeed become ours, so that we can utilize you for the prime aims. But it is entirely a fallacy. And as I have explained in other work, you would do well to remind yourself of that. And of course, once that realization hits you like cold, wet cod being slapped about your face, it hurts you. The devastation of that illusion becomes apparent to you. But it does not end there, does it?
And see, that's another issue too. When we become devastated over people, y'all, that goes back to what I said in the beginning of this video. In Buddhism, they teach the root of all misery is attachment. So you become devastated much of the time over people that should never have been people that you're devastated over. Yes, in some cases, it makes sense to be devastated. You know, like I speak highly of Isaiah. So if something were to happen, yes, that could bring devastation of some kind, right? But oftentimes we're devastated over people that we should not be devastated over. And we must, and it's best to get control of that before we're devastated. You can plan right now how you're going to react to your abuser's funeral and memorial. For one, you can decide not to show up. Okay, you can plan that. See, a lot of times we're more devastated because you never planned. Well, what about when Lucy dies? What about when Bill dies? What am I going to do? What about when Frank goes? What's going to happen when something happened to Betty? Stuff like that. So plan ahead of time. Especially since you know everybody got to die, right? So fair use, y'all. Fair use.
Have suffered the pain of devaluation. Whether it is the sustained horror of the sustained devaluation meted out against the intimate partner primary source, or the staccato-like stabs and hooks applied to you by way of corrective devaluation where you are a secondary source, and alongside that, always being on the outside, never on the inside, waiting for the calls, wondering whether the narcissist will deign to interact with you, being the other man, the other woman, the mistress, the side piece.
And when you're wondering what the narcissist is doing and why haven't they called you and stuff like that, your life has stopped for someone else. We all have done it. You know, you go through those sad moments like, why hasn't this person reached out or whatever? But over time, you must stop that process too. Somebody don't want to talk to you, they don't want to answer your call. You need to be finding you something else to do. It's too much to do in the United States, and there's too many freedoms allowed. I can upload, if I had the time, I could upload 8 videos a day or more on YouTube. It's just too much time to be doing something else other than worried about what they doing. So that's something I had to learn over time. I never was really a person that went to head over heels when people vanish, because I've had uh, a lot of projects to do in my life, and I'm just too busy to do it. I just don't have time. So you got to figure out what you should be doing with your time. And what you should not be doing with your time is worried about why somebody ain't talking to you. That is a waste of your time and your life. Fair use, Sean.
And the other woman, the mistress, the side piece, the affair partner. There is no genuine happiness in any interaction with the narcissist, because in that golden period it's predicated on a fabrication, and then of course devaluation, whether sustained or corrective, hurts you. From the punches and the slaps and the pushes and the choking, to the emotional abuse, to the psychological abuse, to the financial abuse. On and on it goes. It wears you down. In some instances, it brings you to your knees. In others, it brings you close to that. The threat to person, mind, finance, security, safety, those around you that you love. This dynamic hurts you. Yet it doesn't even end there. The cruel disengagement, the huge gap that is created in your life, the jealousy as you see us riding off into the sunset with somebody else, with nary a glance over our shoulder. The harsh, malign hoovers that occur as we brush you off. Stay away from me, you freak. Get lost, you nutcase. Stay the fuck away from me, or I'm going to get a restraining order against you. And indeed, the visits from the police, the smearing, the posting of your nude pictures, the sex videos manifesting in certain instances, the hatred, the bile. And even where that does not occur post-disengagement, it will where it happens post-escape. And even where you find yourself in that post-disengagement period, what you will receive is a cold shouldering as you try to get answers, being ignored, being triangulated if you happen to be in the same place as the narcissist and our new intimate partner primary source. The questions, always the questions. Why me? What did I do wrong? Why did this happen to me? Why does he have to be so brutal? Why won't she talk to me? How can I make it right? I still want to be with them. Maybe somehow we can sort this out. And then the other issues. The agony of continuing to co-parent, the recovery of money, the sorting out of property, the back and forth with friends and colleagues and families. The misery, the agony, the pain continues. And through all of this, whether you've escaped or been disengaged from, whether you're put on the shelf, sitting in that frozen waste, wondering when you might be taken off it, invariably, although you ought not to be doing this because it is a breach of no contact, but invariably you see that the narcissist is carrying on like he's having a jolly old time, or that she hasn't a care in the world. The social media posts about how they're having such a wonderful time with the new person, that work is going well. Look at the new house I've bought. I found true love. This person understands me. All of the words and things that were said to you, wrenched away from you and given to somebody else. Those long, lonely nights where illogically you still yearn for us, if only to take some more of the drug to make the pain go away. It isn't fair, is it? It isn't fair that what was once golden was just an illusion. It isn't fair that, notwithstanding the fact that you're a gentle, kind, honest, exciting, interesting, passionate person, you were treated so badly, devalued, and then either cast aside, or if you were able to make your escape, the torment continued as it was sought to drag you back in and then punish you for your transgressions. Not only are you left buckled and broken, your nose is rubbed in it, as the narcissist just carries on as normal. How can somebody be so callous, not showing a shred of decency or care towards you, yet seemingly reveling in your misery, whilst carrying on like nothing has happened? The repeated follow-up hoovers, coming along and pouring salt in the wounds, sucking at you once more, drawing fuel from you, just as you seem to be recovering. Why will we not leave you alone? All of this will resonate with you. All of this will cause you to think. The narcissist just seems to get away with it, and it isn't fair. And this is where the thoughts of revenge come from warning the new victim from talking to old victims, to countering the smearing, to letting the world know the truth of who this person is, to looking to grass them up, to dob them in, to snitch on them, to cause them problems at work, to shove dog shit through the letterbox, to let down the tires on their car. How many times have you wanted to see them crushed by a bus, hanging from a rope, falling off a cliff? Thoughts of revenge, just if only for a short moment to make this pain go away. It hurts, doesn't it? But remember this, that for everything that you see when you look upon that narcissist, even though you should not be doing, for all of the thoughts of imagining that he is with her, sunning themselves in Ibiza or in Aruba, sipping on their pina coladas, chuckling and laughing away, ensconced in their love which you fear is now genuine and that you've lost the chance. Understand that beneath all of this rests the emptiness, that howling wilderness, that chasm that sits deep within the narcissist, a chasm and a void that can never be filled.
Hopefully y'all are enjoying HD Tutor. So he's talking about the void that can never be filled. And if you keep putting up with it, you're going to have a similar void to them. So just wicked people. Fair use, y'all.
For the greatest of our kind and I that ultra, we know it is there, and we do receive occasional reminders, but it doesn't cause us a significant problem because of the efficacy by which our fuel matrices operate. We are able to keep what lurks within that chasm at bay nearly all of the time. And
I absolutely love the accent of the people in the United Kingdom, y'all. They come here to this channel too. When I go to my YouTube studio analytics, I have people in Asia, the United Kingdom. It's a small percent, but I have people in the Middle East. It's just amazing, the YouTube content creation reach that can go across the world. It's just amazing. So I try to provide, some of a little of everything because I do have people that come in here from the United Kingdom. So you have to remember, if I get 100 views on a video, maybe 5 or 3 of those people are actually coming in from the United Kingdom or the Middle East or from Asian countries. So there is a percent, and in the YouTube analytics, it will give the percentile of my viewers and give in the analytics, it gives the percent and where they're coming in from. So anyone that comes in from the United Kingdom, it just says the UK. It won't break them down. Did they come from Britain, London? It just says the UK. That's all. So fair use, y'all. You gotta love HD Tutor.
all of the time. And even when it presents itself, it is quickly quashed.
I'm gonna go start boiling my coffee, y'all. I got some creams for my coffees. Thank you.
By waterfall of fuel that we are able to obtain. But for the range, for all of the rictus grins that they exhibit, and therefore each and every moment they invariably, even if it starts as just as the slightest of nagging itches, it's there, the whispers of the creature. That sense of unease, a restlessness, that behind the face that smiles, the narcissism is working away, trying to ensure that fuel is extracted, that control is asserted, to ensure that this churning sensation, this nagging itch, the anxiety that builds, that can increase towards a sense of impending doom and something worse, has to be dealt with. Imagine that you have that itch that is never entirely scratched properly, the pain that never truly goes away. That is what the lesser and mid-range narcissists face. Admittedly, it does not pain them extensively all of the time, but it remains like the dullest aches of a receding headache, which can then come on and throb more acutely. So whilst you may be ensconced in misery, bemoaning the fact that he has disappeared off to the Bahamas, taking his new paramour with him and leaving you mired in debt, injury and hurt, for all of the appearances plastered all over social media and the billets doux sent elsewhere, advising people of what a great time we're having out here, this is fantastic. Underneath it all lurks that emptiness. Underneath it all awaits the need for fuel, the need to assert control, that around each corner lies a threat which has to be asserted. And whilst this is not exhausting to the narcissist, as I have explained in a different video, it means there is no contentment, there is no rest, there is no satisfaction. And that whilst you may well feel miserable, think on that the apparent appearance of happiness is a fallacy. We do not experience happiness, we experience the product of fuel. And fuel either buoys us up and makes us immensely powerful, invulnerable, conquerors of worlds and universes, or it is there to quell that sense of doom, to keep the emptiness at bay for a few more hours yet, to scratch the itch, to ease the dread, to soothe away the anguish. And that is always there for each and every narcissist, and is more acutely felt by the lesser and mid-range of our kind, hence why they are lower echelon. And you should realize, therefore, that this is what each narcissist has to deal with. So rather than look at the pictures, rather than listen to the recordings, rather than look out for those tidbits of gossip as to what the narcissist is up, rather than spend your time hoping for the narcissist to fail to fall flat on his or her face, remember, they have that emptiness to deal with. It is always there, and there are times when they are unable to deal with it effectively, and they become plunged into the fuel crisis. You do not have that. Of course, for me, it presents no problem, and therefore I can be entertained as you can by the malfunctions and misgivings and complications that the scum that are the lesser and the mealy-mouthed, cowardly wankers that are the mid-range suffer. But keep that in your mind the next time you are bemoaning the fact that the narcissist has ridden off, leading you in the dust. And if you want to understand even more of how that emptiness appears to even I, the ultra, utilize the link for The World of the Narcissist, which you will find in the video description, and receive yet more information for your edification and education. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.
I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening. That's cute. That's HG Tudor. You gotta love them. So I'm looking at this calendar, y'all. So it says today is the 14th, right? So wow, I think I might have, So I think I wrote the wrong day on my notes for my day. So that means the 12th was actually Wednesday. Oh, okay. So I wrote the wrong thing. So I got to fix this. So the 12th would have been Wednesday. Okay. So let me scratch that out. Wednesday. Okay, now let me see for the 11th. That would have been Tuesday. Okay. So what I did, I wrote the date right on my notes. I'm still old school, y'all. I use real pen and paper. I sure do. I sure do. So on August 12th, I said that it was Thursday, but it was confusing to me because I wrote down the correct information. So yeah, I gotta fix this stuff, y'all. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this live. Another narcissistic lady friend, along with the phone chronicle. I gotta go back through these lives and give them titles and stuff like that. But it is 2:38 a.m. on Friday, August the 14th. I started standing up again in my little makeshift studio. I didn't feel comfortable doing that Mrs. Jones thing, sitting over there in that recliner. Then when my recliner, it's a rocking recliner. So when I move, it's making noise. It's just too much. I do like my videos kind of sleek, where there's not farting type noises. And, when you're moving around on leather, it's making some little noises. So, yeah. So hopefully you enjoyed the lives. I'm going to be doing a video about Mr. Sabino and the spiritual experience that I had yesterday, which would have been the 13th, around 10 something p.m. I had a very, very, very spiritual experience regarding Mr. Sabino. And yeah, and so I'm going to be doing a video about that and just talking about, how much we miss and love him and stuff. I was with Isaiah, but I got a lot of the spiritual meaning that I needed of his death. And I will always remain grateful for this man. He's from Mexico. Mexico, y'all. He's from Mexico. So, I'm not on board with the ICE stuff, right? I'm paying attention, y'all. I'm not seeing them snatch people up, that are born in Europe. They're just on our Hispanics and our Mexican people, our people from Haiti and our African people. And I'm just not really on board with all this ICE crap. I do feel it's abuse. I think it's a red flag, and I do think they're being targeted, and it's wicked in nature. I do. So I'll be doing a video at some point about the spiritual experiences I had about our brother from Mexico that has passed away. And so, yeah, so the experience happened on August 13th around 10 p.m. I started this video after midnight on Friday, August 14th, and it is 2:41 a.m. Hopefully you enjoyed the fair use video. I'm glad I did this video because I realized that I wrote the wrong day in my journal. I wrote the right date. I wrote August 12th, but I wrote on there that it's Thursday. And August 12th was not Thursday. It was Wednesday. So thank you so much, y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm getting ready to get my coffee, y'all. It's balling, it's balling, it's balling. Isaiah. Yes, indeed. Always aiming for heaven, y'all. No hell, no hell, no hell. Hell is just brief. Yes, indeed. Still working on this voice, y'all. Still working on this voice. My voice, my original voice is just going to come back like heaven, y'all. Once I go to the hospital about my respiratory issue, that's when I'll get my voice back. Please like, share, and subscribe. Snap those fingers. Aiming to heaven. No hell, no hell. Please like, share, and subscribe. It is 2:45 a.m. 2:45 a.m. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Bye, y'all. Tune in for more right here with the Advanced Insight channel. I love y'all.